everyone for coming back for the last session of the day. In this session, we'll talk about economies to share their best practices and experiences. As you can see, thanks for your enthusiastic response, all of our participating economies decided to share some of their stories and experiences with us today. As to how we're going to proceed with this all-star lineup, we'll let our moderator decide. In this sessions, we are very honored to have Head Prosecutor of Taiwan High Prosecutor's Office from Chinese Taipei, Ms. Chen Wenqi, to be our moderator. Ms. Chen, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the third section, the last section today. I'm Chen Wenqi. Currently is the Head Prosecutor of the Taiwan High Prosecutor's Office. Prior of that, I worked as the Director General in the Ministry of Justice, was responsible for the international and cross-strait business. And today we have a very big panel from the 13 member economies. They are going to share their experience and the practices on the whistleblowers. As we know that protecting the whistleblowers is now widely recognized deemed necessary. But the practices and the development vary because of the different system, legal framework, culture, and the whole social background. I think the panelist representation and the experience sharing will provide us a great reference. So because there are many delegates will present and share their experience. So just let me start. And you can refer all the documents in this book. And we will start from Indonesia. Let me introduce the delegate, Setiati. Setiati is the head of the Legal Bureau Corruption Education Commission. So let's give a warm applause to Setiati, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I introduce myself. My name is Setiati from Indonesia, from Commission on Education Corruption. And it is the first time when I visiting Taiwan on the Apex meeting. And I'm very happy and honored when I want to explain from Indonesian agency specialized KPK for to the eradication of the corruption. Many problems when Indonesia have a new agency for to eradication the corruption. And during the 15 years, we have many intimidation, many trouble. Even though last 2 months ago, one of the priority of the investigator from KPK was get of the accident in the house when he processing of the huge case in my country, especially in the corruption case. And you know, this week the spokes of the parliament was decided by my office to become the suspects in the use of the corruption case. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some slide for to the audience to describe that Indonesia have ready to implementation of the UNCAC on 2003, and we have the Act number 15 2006, representative of the UNCAC. It is the law on witnesses and victim protection. Actually, in international convention in 2003, the United Nations adopted a convention against corruption, and the Article 23 and 22 of the UN Convention endorse protection for whistleblower. In 1999, the Council of Europe ratified the Civil Law Convention of Corruption. And in the Article 9, the Convention Explanatory Report called upon states to protect and encourage the whistleblowing. In Indonesia, in the fact, we have not the act of the whistleblower, but the whistleblower has was regulated in the Act number 13 of 26 with the name Law and Witnesses and Victim Protection. Supreme Court Circular number 4 and of the 2011 on the treatment of the whistleblower and justice collaborator is specified. It means in Indonesia have the regulation together between the Supreme Court, Indonesian National Police, Attorney General, and my office and KPK have the regulation together to the adopted of whistleblower, included of the justice collaborator. I want to tell about some Indonesian whistleblower case summaries. The first, the whistleblower case Susno Duadi. He is in the high rank of the police in Indonesia, National Police. Susno actually revealed of the alleged case broker in the body of the police involving a number of police officials and also involved employee of the Directorate General of Texas Gayus Tambunan. He is my former commander 5 years ago, and I came to explain more about this case. Mr. Susno Duadi, he is have the close relationship with the suspect, which is the Gayus Tambunan. He is the first whistleblower in Indonesia related about the investigator. The second case is the tax cases by Asian Agria Group. Asian Agria Group is a big company, even though it's have many other company. The company location in Sumatra near Singapore. He operated of the plantation. The disclosure of the tax evasion case by Asian Agri Group Company is inseparable from Tempo's investigative. Tempo is the main magazine in Indonesia. In investigative report, both newspaper and magazine, and the disclosure from Vincent. Vincent is the former director of the finance in the Asian Agri Group. When the Vincent report to the Attorney General, about the tax fraud in the ASEAN Agri Group. On December 1, 2006, Vincent Deliberate came to the KPK, is my office, to disclose and the financial problem ASEAN Agri Group equipped with the number of financial documents and digital data. And finally, ASEAN Agri Group was paid to the country with Directorate General of the Taxes almost $1 million. The last case Indonesian whistleblower is named Agus Condro case. As in the case with Agus Condro, who was the former member of the People Legislative Assembly from 1999 to 2004 from PDI Perjuangan Party. It is the major party in Indonesia right now. He revealed to the public that he and some of his colleagues received traveler checks and bribes in the election of the senior deputy governor of the Bank Indonesia in early 2004. Actually, when the member of the board of Bank Indonesia want to choose the deputy, in the fact, more than 20 members of the parliament get of the bribery from somebody else. KPK has defined for former member of the Finance Committee of the 1999-2004 Parliament as a suspect. That is Hamda Yamdu, Ucu Joheri, Edin Sofihara, Dudi Mahmud at the party with the whistleblower man. It is the Agus Condro case. The four was detected suspect with evidence of the 10 travel checks worth 100 million rupiah and a number of other checks with a total value 24 billion rupiah. Finally, 22 members of the parliament to become the suspect after the Agus Condro case whistleblower. At the last, I want to give suggestion about the Apex whistleblower to cooperation. There are 4 suggestions from me. Establish whistleblower synergy with APEC Indonesia from via KPK or CAG. In the near future, this whistleblower synergies within the APEC region can be strengthened through more intense cooperation on the first, exchange of information in the field of corruption prevention. Actually, I have many meeting, conference, and seminar with UNCIC in the Bangkok and Jakarta, Singapore. This is for example, exchange of information. The second, sharing best practice information in the field of corruption eradication. Next month, KPK will be start about the new program for the eradication with the name HELC. HELC is Anti-Corruption Learning Center. HELC will be a collect of the from media, from academic, from student, and everywhere from the public to give the education about the anti-corruption. The second, the cooperation in the implementation of education, training and research activities. And the number 4, exchange expertises in organizational and law enforcement for capacity building. We have two programs next month. The first in the Agustus onto the judge, Netherlands. We will do training more than 20 investigators, and the next month going to the US with Mr. Kelvin from USDOT for to make a what's meaning about the evidence of electronic evidence, because in corruption case related about the how to get and how to keep the evidence of electronic. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's my explanation, and many thanks for your attention. And please, if you want the contact for us in Jakarta, you can to browsing to the website kpk.go.id. I think like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yati, for showing the three cases started. Next, I would like to invite Mrs. Ikuko Sugita from Japan. She is Deputy Director from the Legal System Planning Division, Consumer Affairs Agency. She takes charge of the whistleblowers protection section. Now, so let's welcome Sugita.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Ikuko Sugita, as Deputy Director, Legal System Planning Division, Consumer Affairs Agency, Government of Japan. I have been in charge of the whistleblowing protection section for systems planning and development as they relate to consumers' everyday lives. Today, I would like to introduce Japan's guidelines for business operators, which were amended in December 2016. For your reference, I have prepared a PowerPoint sheet and the text of the guidelines. First of all, before explaining the guidelines, I would like to briefly explain Japan's Whistleblower Protection Act. In Japan, at the beginning of the decade of the 2000s, a series of scandals threatening consumer safety and peace of mind became public knowledge through whistleblowing from the inside of organizations. As a result, in order to promote compliance with the law by business operators and to contribute to citizens' safety and peace of mind, the Whistleblower Protection Act was passed in 2004 and came into force in 2006. It prohibited the dismissal of workers for whistleblowing and stipulated measures to be taken by business operators with respect to whistleblowing, etc. This act has achieved certain results, such as promoting the establishment and maintenance of internal reporting systems by business operators. However, even after the act came into force, there have unfortunately been cases where problems could not be expected to be corrected through internal reporting to business operators, since these internal reporting systems did not function. In this context, various stakeholders requested that efforts be promoted to further develop and consolidate systems such as decision-making by government agencies. To deal with this situation, in December 2016, the guidelines for business operators were amended and published, specifying and clarifying the proposed recommendations to encourage business operators to make voluntary efforts. I will now explain the main points of guidelines which you may follow in the reference material. The guidelines were established based upon 4 key elements. Please refer to these as indicated in 4 different colors on the PowerPoint sheet. These 4 key elements are protection of whistleblowers, role of top management, promotion of efforts by SMEs or small and medium-sized enterprises, and interests of citizens. These 4 key elements are indicated in the text of the guidelines in the same respective colors. First of all, let me explain the first key element, protection of whistleblowers, indicated in red. The internal reporting systems aim at promoting compliance management by making upper management aware of warnings from employees regarding internal organizational issues at an early stage. For this reason, it is necessary above all to promote the establishment and maintenance of an environment that allows employees to consult and to report with peace of mind. Please refer to 3.1 and its following items on page 10 in the text of the guidelines. Leaking the departmental affiliation name or other information regarding the whistleblower within the workplace is absolutely against the best interests of whistleblower, as doing so may lead to poor treatment. For this reason, detailed stipulations are set out in the guidelines following 3.1 on page 10, stating that it is important to carefully maintain the confidentiality of reporting. Examples of measures to be taken to ensure respect of full confidentiality are clearly set out at 3.1.1 on page 10. Furthermore, measures to be taken during an investigation are clearly stated at 3.1.4 on page 12 in the text of the guidelines, so that investigation methods are properly conceived to ensure that whistleblowers are not identified during investigations. Incidentally, 3.1.2 on page 10 of the text of the guidelines state that along with ensuring the confidentiality of whistleblowers, it is appropriate that internal points of contact for reporting, for example, law offices or private professional organizations, should be maintained as much as possible to provide greater opportunities for grasping information related to managerial risks. Now, please refer to 3.2 on page 12 of the text of the guidelines. Any danger that a whistleblower who has properly reported must be disadvantageously treated leads to a danger that it damages trust in the internal reporting systems and it delays the grasping of information pertaining to managerial risks. For this reason, 3.2 on page 12 of the text of the guidelines state that the internal rules must clearly state that disadvantageous treatment such as dismissal because of reporting is prohibited and that disciplinary actions or other appropriate measures will be taken against violators. Furthermore, 3.3 on page 13 of the text of the guidelines state that to grasp information about the violations of laws and regulations as quickly as possible and promote compliance management, a mechanism must be maintained to, depending on the circumstances, reduce or exempt disciplinary actions for those involved in the violations of laws and regulations if those individuals have enabled the early detection and resolution of issues by voluntarily reporting or cooperating with investigations. I will now explain the second key element, role of top management, indicated in green. In order to receive warnings from employees as promptly as possible, to approximately conduct investigations and take corrective actions, and to promote compliance management, leadership, and commitment by upper management are indispensable. Now please refer to 1.2 on page 4 of the text of the guidelines, which clearly and concretely describes messages that should be sent continuously to upper management and to all employees by top management. in addition to simply setting up those mechanisms. And 212 on page 6 of the text of the guidelines points out, in order to strive for vigorous compliance management, it is appropriate to establish mechanisms that are independent from upper management. For example, having a direct report route to external directors or auditors, and investigating and taking corrective actions independently from upper management. Furthermore, 4.2 on page 14 of the text of the guidelines state that in order to maintain and improve the effectiveness of internal reporting systems under the responsibility of upper management must be continuously upgraded by conducting periodic objective evaluation and inspection using internal audit or neutral and impartial third parties based upon those results. I will now explain the third key element, promotion of efforts by SMEs, indicated in yellow. Concerning the objectives and character of the guidelines at 1.3 on page 4 of the text of the guidelines, the guidelines state that they do not hinder appropriate initiatives according to the size or the type of business of each business operator, of the further perfection of the introduction, maintenance, and operation of means for responding to reports that have already been put in place by business operators. 211D on page 5 of the text of the guidelines state that in order to promote compliance management in the overall corporate group, it is appropriate to provide advice and support as necessary to develop internal reporting systems that include related companies and periodically evaluate the conditions of internal reporting systems in related companies. Let me now explain the fourth key element, interests of citizens, indicated in blue. The ultimate objectives of the Whistleblower Protection Act are to contribute to the stability of citizens' lives and to sound social and economic development by promoting compliance with the legal stipulations regarding the promotion of citizens' lives, persons, property, and other interests. Thus, the safety and peace of mind of citizens and consumers must be promoted by further improving the effectiveness of investigative and corrective measures carried out by business operators who have received internal reporting. 331 on page 8 of the text of the guidelines stipulates in detail the setting up of mechanisms and appropriate operations to improve the effectiveness of internal investigative and corrective measures against violators of laws and regulations. 214C on page 7 of the text of the guidelines state that in order to make the entire organization understand and aware of the fact that internal reporting systems are of great importance in meeting corporate social responsibilities, upper management and all employees must be sufficiently and continuously informed of clearly established points of contact and methods for whistleblowing reception. In conclusion, I have explained the guidelines and how the increase in the number of business operators who have established and are maintaining highly effective internal reporting systems leads to a safer society with greater peace of mind, which is a benefit to all of us. Therefore, in order to enhance the effectiveness of internal reporting systems through the establishment, maintenance, and improvement of the internal reporting systems based upon the guidelines by each business operator, we, the Consumer Affairs Agency, plan to work actively with business operators so that they may proceed step by step with the establishment, maintenance, and improvement of internal reporting systems based upon these guidelines. At the present time, the International Organization for Standardization, or ISO, is considering the establishment of new standards regarding whistleblower protection systems, and Japan has been participating in this process. It is thus expected that the Japan's guidelines will also be considered as a reference during this standardization process. If there are points in the Japan's guidelines with which you agree, I would like to ask for your full support and the cooperation of APEC economies so that the Japan's guidelines may be adopted as closely as possible in ISO's new standards. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thanks, Mrs. Sakita, and thanks for your informative introduction and the document about the guidelines.